create legacy of impact and income through the channel of entrepreneurship and do more good in the world. You will get access to all our amazing speakers today and walk away with great wisdom and inspiration so that you can level up yourself and your business to the next level.
All right, purpose-driven legacy builders, I hope you're ready to level up again with another event, an amazing roundtable summit here at the Life School. I'm so blessed to have you all here and also our amazing speakers joining us today for another beautiful event. All the events are so unique and different because everyone brings in their own unique voice and spin to the conversation. So I always find that these events are learning experiences, but also great implementation experiences. And I'm always taking notes on the end, and as I'm a lifelong student myself. So before we dive into and bring all our amazing speakers onto our virtual stage, I just want to remind you that this event has been sponsored by the Life School, and here we help purpose-driven leaders to build a legacy company that does good in the world through the operations, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team. Our vision is to empower purpose-driven business leaders to use their life's purpose through legacy entrepreneurship. And then finally, our mission is to become the most influential global community in purposeful entrepreneurship. And our values are community connection, service, and contribution. So without further ado, I'll be bringing our amazing panel speakers today that are joining me, all amazing connections in our Life School community, and people that are really making a difference in the world. They really believe that the work they're doing is their vocation, and this is the way that they get to impact the world. And I'm always very, very blessed to be able to be surrounded by so many amazing genius entrepreneurs as well. So I'm going to dive right in with our first speaker for today. I'm going to go to Marcy McDonald. Marcy is a great connection here at the Life School, and a great friend as well that I have been blessed to know her. So Marcy, thank you so much for coming back, and looking forward to introducing you to the audience here today. And if you could share a few of the most meaningful moments that led you to the work that you're doing out there in the world.
Well, we could spend days just on my meaningful moments, because change, transformation isn't usually one incident, is it? It's a series of cascading events that lead you to where you are today. But just briefly, one of the things that happened to me is that my younger brother suddenly died. And it made me realize that life is too short and too unpredictable to go without dealing with the stuff that's standing between you and having the impact in the world we're living. And that triggered this journey I'm on, where now I can save other women time through my mistakes and my learning to be able to live that impactful life, integrating your mission and your values into your everyday.
Well, what a story, right? And I know it's such a loaded question, because it kind of is also a good question, because it really gets you to think about the most impactful moments that actually impacted the work that you're doing today. So thank you so much for sharing that, Marcy. And based on your own methodology, your own unique framework of how you help your clients, what are some things that you can share with us that add value to our audience, that you find you sort of repeat all the time, and are things that are so foundational and such root causes to the specific problem that you solve, that you could share with us?
Right. I'd say there's two things. One is that most people, especially women, when they set out to live a purposeful life and to be a purpose-driven businesswoman, is that they make that concept so big, it's unattainable. And it feeds into the way they tend to beat themselves up about not being good enough, right? And we don't want that. We want to be able to live intentionally throughout our days. So purpose isn't something magnificent like Mother Teresa or Oprah Winfrey necessarily. It's more about how you're living your life moment to moment. And that's where the power really comes in having an impact and changing the world. And the second thing that is tied to, that I say over and over again, is that you have to pay attention to what it is you're telling yourself about yourself as well as about other people, because that kind of self-talk is what will unleash all your energy to do the work you're called to do, or block it in its tracks. And so living moment to moment with clear intentionality, I call it radical intentionality, when you're living your purpose all through the day and you're not judging yourself if you fall off that path that you're on. Instead, you've got a clear head, clear emotional pathway to doing the work you're meant to do, because you know at the core you're good enough. You're already good enough.
Marcy, I love your message, because I also agree that every time we talk about vision and purpose, these are such, big words that sometimes it feels like we have to have this all figured out. But I love that you said that day by day, baby step by baby step, connect to new dot today, right? Be a curious learner, listen to yourself and intuition, all these amazing things that we all have as humans. So we start piecing our own purpose. And at every phase and stage of growth, we are focusing on something else. And that's very natural as we evolve as humans. So thank you so much for sharing what you just did. And thank you so much for doing the amazing work that you do out there in the world as well. And I'll definitely come back to you at the end as well for a final message for our audience.
Thanks, Elona.
Beautiful. Thank you so much again, Marcy. This summit and this event's already started with so much nuggets of wisdom. So as I put my speakers on the stage, I'm always jotting down great, amazing nuggets that sometimes it's those small mindset shifts that we need, that kind of, open up a whole new world, or bring up a whole new perspective, or kind of give us clarity on that purpose and vision as well. So I'm hoping that, each of our speakers will do that magic for you today. So bringing on to the stage my next amazing speaker, a repeat, and our message should be heard and so clear and so loud, because the amazing work that she's doing out there in the world in the health and wellness space is definitely something that is impacting so many more people. So I would love to invite Emily Brzezinski Clark back to our virtual stage. And Emily, looking forward to you share some of the most meaningful moments in your journey as well.
Yes. So I came into this kind of by accident, I guess you could say, because I have been a healthcare provider for 15 years now, but I was also so interested in Eastern philosophy, Eastern healing, and I got really into yoga and meditation and Reiki. And I always wondered how I could combine the two, because they both are very beneficial. And so that's how Abundant Wellness with Emily came about. So I originally started my business during COVID, and I was coaching my fellow healthcare providers from burnout. But then I realized, I'm kind of taking on their energy and I'm burning out myself again. So I've taken a pivot. And so now I combine my healthcare expertise and my Eastern healing expertise. And so I really work with those who want to improve not only just their physical health, because I can certainly help with that, but their overall well-being, because your well-being it's a state, it's a state of being. It's everything in your life. It's not just your physical health. It's your mental health, your relationships, how you connect with other people, and most importantly, how you connect with yourself. And I want my clients to improve and have superior quality of life.
Well, I love the beautiful complementation. I was just recently watching a podcast interview from Jay Shetty, his On Purpose podcast. I love this podcast and all the amazing guests he brings on board. And they were talking about we are the CEO of our health, right? And if we want to do all this amazing work in the world, in our health and wellness is, I think, one of the most important things that we get to in our physical body, and all the different dimensions of health that we can define. I think it's such an important area based on the work that you're doing as well. And that kind of really attracted me, because we talk about being the CEO of our companies, being the CEOs of our businesses, but CEO of our health and life. I think that's where everything begins. So Emily, based on your beautiful marriage and complementation that you just described, what is your unique methodology around burnout? What is some things that you can share with us that we can easily implement as, of course, we are just going about our our life and business growth journey and our own involvement as humans as we go through the channel of entrepreneurship that you could share with us?
Yeah, so sometimes what happens, and I shouldn't say sometimes what happens, what really happens with a lot of the clients that I coach is they are so focused on one area of their life, and usually it's career or finances, that everything else kind of falls to the wayside if you think of the life wheel. Like their relationships fall apart, their health definitely falls apart, or hobbies, all these other parts of our life, they just kind of put those on the back burner, and they're so focused on career and success and achievement that they forgot about all these other things until boom, something happens. And sometimes that can be a diagnosis. Maybe it's high blood pressure or a new diagnosis of diabetes. Maybe they have a hospitalization, heaven forbid, but sometimes that happens. Or they have chronic back pain, and they seem to not realize that a lot of these things can be prevented, but we have to embrace all the other parts of our life, and all the other parts of your life have to be, you have to be aware of them, and you have to partake in them, just like you have to participate in a relationship, and you have to participate in a hobby. And that's a whole part of your whole well-being and your health.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
Yes.
But that is
It all affects you. It all affects you.
Absolutely, but that's the challenge. So how do we, because I don't know, but I mean, I also fall into the trap of this sometimes as I focus so much into one area. It seems like all the other areas that I'm intentionally trying to be more conscious and aware about sort of fall on the wayside. And, then you start feeling guilty, and, you go down that rabbit hole that most of us probably can resonate with. So how can we keep this top of mind as we are also focusing on the growth of our businesses? Because most of us here are entrepreneurs. I think that relates to most.
Yeah. So step one is awareness. You have to become aware of that you've kind of put these on the back burner, and maybe had that realization or that aha moment before something big happens. And then you have to also make those things a priority in your life. So one of the tips that I use with my clients is we do an energy analysis, and they look through their day and they write down times a day, what they were doing throughout the day, and whether or not it filled them up or drained them. And so the things that fill you up and give you purpose and bring excitement, those are the things you want to do more of. And so, step one is awareness. Step two is really looking at your life. And then step three is making it a priority. What fills you up, and try to do more of that when you can. And also looking at your schedule in your life and how you can fit more of that in.
Yeah, I would say step 4, put it on your calendar like a business.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You got to put it on your calendar. Otherwise, it just slips aside.
Yeah. Or get a mentor, get someone like you that's top of mind and is always building that momentum. Because I find that even with my clients with the business, right? The more conversations we have, the more we build momentum. So just keeping this stuff top of mind and prioritizing it in our calendar and our day-to-day agenda and being purposeful with it doesn't mean that we have to load our calendars with stuff that sometimes we can struggle with that as
because busy is not a badge of honor.
Exactly. But yeah, being intentional, put on your calendar, and it's something that you are doing, and it's a meeting with yourself, right? A CEO meeting for your health. I think that's, at least for me, that would make me listen. I'm like, okay, it's a meeting. I will obey.
That's right. That's right. Put that yoga class on your calendar, or that gym time, or whatever it is that you love, your favorite podcast. Put that on your time. Put it on your calendar. I have this X amount of time where I dedicate to me.
Well, thank you so much, Emily, for all the amazing, beautiful work you're doing out there in the world. And I will come back to you as well at the end.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, beautiful. Moving on to my third panel speaker today, an amazing new member actually to the Life School community, made a beautiful introduction inside our Facebook group, and I can't wait to actually hear him and meet him and introduce him to you as well. Jose Pereira. Jose, thank you so much for being part of our event today. It's so lovely to meet you, and also I'm looking forward to hearing more around, your personal journey as to how it relates to the work you're doing out there in the world as well.
Thank you very much, Elona, for having me. I did that introduction because, that is my introduction. Basically, what was my journey. Putting together, by the way, I was hearing Emily talking about how she combined her past experience and what she's doing today, and that is more or less what happened to me. I came being a 35-year oil and gas executive. By the way, I'm a third generation of oil and gas executive. I'm Venezuelan born, so I came from a dynasty of people in Venezuela working in the oil and gas. And at the end of my career, I was ready to get retired. And happened this situation to me that I became a hostage. I went to a business trip. I was called. I live here in Houston. I received a phone call to fly to a meeting, and that meeting resulted to be a 5-year hostage situation, because that happened to me in November 21, 2017, and there was a lot of things going in that country with the U.S. So we got caught in that situation. We became the political pawns of the situation, and the press put us a brand. We were 6 guys. You can Google it. We became the Citgo 6. So that's how the press named us. We became the Citgo 6. And in October last year, I came back through a prisoner swap. So that's my long story short of my journey. And when I came back 1 year ago, at the beginning, I really was guessing what to do with my life, because you come like in a time machine and come to a post-pandemic world. For me, it was totally new, and I began to get involved with the hostage community, because today I'm very active in the hostage community. By the way, I'm one of the most vocal voices in the hostage community. Besides what's going in the Middle East, there are a lot of, like, more than 60 Americans caught in all over the world. And when I begin to do those connections with the families, with the former guys, I found that my message was really helping them. So that's why, and I come now, what Emily did, I combine my previous experience that I had dealing with a lot of management and leadership things, and my survival skill, because I decided to survive my situation, and I combine it, and I create a program that today is called Life Pills for the Survivor Guide, and I begin to help people that have their companies, business owners. I have a group here in Houston that I'm coaching today, people that have their own companies, having problems with management, communication, leadership, team building, things that I did in my previous life, but I put that survivor skills, that is the most important thing that I want to share here today, because everybody inside itself has what I call the unbreakable spirit. You have an inner force inside you that is your choice if you decided to take it out or not. When you go to any adversity in your life, you at the beginning you deny it, because the first thing, the adversity will never announce. That's something that I learned. Any adversity in your life never will announce it. And when it comes, the first reaction is, this is not happening to me. So that was what happened in my case. There's a mistake. This is not happening to me. At some point, you accept what you're going through. And then it becomes like a path. Today I understood, and it's part of my program today, that the first thing is to be calm and focused in the situation. Focus on what you're going through. Then you have to have the proper mindset to think about what you're going through. In my case, I decided to go in that path because I was a positive guy. I always was a positive guy. And then another thing that I decided to do, and I recommend to any adversity in their life, don't do it alone. Look to your loved one, the people that really your support circle. Take care of yourself in our case, we stayed 5 years in a confinement, and we were 6 guys in a confined place, 100 square foot, without no window, no nothing. We were living in a closet during 5 years, and we decided to create a plan how to survive. And we take care. We did yoga, we did meditation, we did static running, we did cardio, we did a lot of things. We at some point could read. I began to write. I decided to write because I needed to be communicated with my family. And when I came back, I had writing with my wife more than 1,000 letters. So that became my memoir, and it's going to be my book that I'm going to put out now. And I combine all these things today, and that's what I coach today. And I decided to begin to speak about this because really, I believe that this message can give hope, can give faith, because it's a message behind this. I discovered the spirituality behind this. Today I'm really connected with my church. I was not a religious guy in the past. Today I'm very connected with my church. I serve in my church. I have been done my testimony. So I really think that my message can help others because I went through it and I proved that you can make it. So my message to the people today is that any adversity in your life is your choice how you decide to face it. But really you can survive it because I'm here. So that's my message to the world.
Wow, Jose. Well, you are the perfect example of, the saying that your journey, your path, the things that you have had to overcome as adversity now become, the survival guides for someone else that might be going through a similar journey. So I'm so happy that you're putting out there your book, your story, your message, and all those beautiful memoir. But what is so impressive is that you didn't just, you didn't give up. You found ways to be purposeful. You found ways to pass your time in the most effective way, and now you have so much more to share for other people. So I knew your story was very inspiring. I really want to thank you for coming up, and also thank you for sharing this with us today, because I definitely think it's something that so many more people need to hear. So I appreciate you, and I'll be coming back at the end for you as well for a final message for our audience today.
I had two mottos in life: never give up, never lose the faith, because I never give up. I never lose the faith. By the way, I'm in the car because I was driving with my wife. Sorry, you got me in the car. I was talking with my wife, and I was telling her, because we were talking a lot of this, and by the way, she is. If I'm a survivor, she's a super survivor because she went through this situation. It's unimaginable what she did during these 5 years to bring me back. But you know what was more for me compelling? That she got all my letters that I wrote it, that even I cannot read how it was in a paper. She transcribed it in Word. And when I went back, I found everybody's done there. So she did a wonderful job. So for me, really, who is my hero is her. So I wanted to say that. So today we're more close than ever after this situation.
So such a beautiful close partnership right there, and those moments of challenge, right? For most people, it might break a couple apart, but it seems like it brought you two closer together. So that's a beautiful story, and she definitely, absolutely needs to be part of your work as well. As it seems like she's definitely a vessel for inspiration for you as well. So
I'm encouraging her to write her book.
Absolutely. And when you do launch your book, you're more than welcome to come and actually tell us more about that. And we'll be more than happy to support you with that venture as well. As I find that books are a legacy product. You document your journey, your experience, something that might have took you 30 years out of your life or 20 years. You could put it in 200 pages and it could just be the next, someone else can read it and can apply it and really help.
The book is going to go out in January. I already have read it in English and Spanish. As I said, it's based on my memoir. The name is From Hero to Villain, the true story of the Seagull Ship. Why From Hero to Villain? Because we were accused of espionage, treason. So we became the bad guys, So that's why I put it From Hero to Villain, the true story of the Seagull Ship. As I said, For some reason, we hit the press a lot during our confinement because it was really political thing, and the press put it became like a brand. We became the Fit Go Six. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Jose. Moving on to
Okay.
my next beautiful speaker here today, Jasmine Bryan. Fear no video. I like that. So, Jasmine, welcome. And looking forward to hearing a little bit more regarding your journey to the work you're doing with, I'm assuming, video content and how we can increase our visibility out there and share our message. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And oh my gosh, how can I follow Jose and his incredibly inspiring story? I mean, never give up, never lose faith. I love it. So I'm so glad that you're here. Oh my gosh. So I am a video coach for entrepreneurs, and so I help mostly women to feel more comfortable on camera so that they can better better be visible for their businesses. It's really a passion of mine because while I work with men and women, women have my heart because in general we make so much more. We make so much less than men, like pennies on the dollar. I think last year the average American woman made like 36,000 per year, and men were making 59,000. Like that's a huge gap, and a lot of women, they turn to entrepreneurship, whether it's network marketing, coaching, a brick and mortar, cooking, whatever it is, so they can get out of that 9 to 5, so they can spend time with their family because they're not doing it. Now they're slaving away at whatever job it is that they have, and they want more out of their life. And it isn't necessarily money driven, but but purpose driven. Like they want to spend time with their kids. They want to spend time with their husbands or their wives, and they want to, do the yoga so to take care of their health, and they want to do all these different things to find joy that they can't do because they're making pennies when you come down to it. So helping these women to become visible is really important to me. It's just because it's not okay. Like, it's just not okay that women make so much less than men. And, you know, it, women, and mostly women, we have this fear of not being perfect. And so then we don't go on camera, we don't show up, and when we don't show up, then things don't happen. So I like to say, when you're visible, you get paid. And it's so true. You need to be out there. And women, especially of a certain age, and I am of that certain age, right? So we're talking like mid 40s to, late 60s. The technology is a struggle, and you think it takes too much time, it takes too much money, and you just don't have the skill, or the
Yeah.
confidence. So teaching the confidence is a big thing
Mhm.
too, because going on camera for your business is one thing, but once you start doing it, you just feel so much more powerful. And that power doesn't stop when you turn off the lights of your business that day. So that's what I do, and that's why I'm here.
I love that, Jasmine. Wow, those statistics are crazy to think, right? And there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with aligning your purpose with profit, and that's why we're all here. So I love that you're teaching women a very important tool, and that could be used anywhere. That could be used to share your message as a speaker, to share it on video, to share it in such an event like this, right? Because it's that skill that you learn and that confidence that you build, and no one can ever take that away from you. And it's so true,
Yeah.
right? I also say that people need to see you, hear you, so that obviously they could see how is it that you can impact them. So it's those 3 steps that video or any type of content absolutely helps us. Just like this, we're sharing our message. Next best, situation is a live interaction if you can. But after that, it's absolutely video, because that's how we get to connect with each other and really feel each other's energy, and see if we resonate based on the message and the work that we're all doing. So, Jasmine, my question for you is around impact. how do we create an impactful piece of content through video? Do you have like a framework or certain steps that you teach your clients that you could share with us? I think that would add a lot of value.
Okay, yeah. The biggest way to create impact is honestly to be yourself. The Google and Merriam-Webster, the word of the year for 2023 is authentic. And so that just goes to show you that you don't have to be, one of the grand influencers. You don't have to be a Kardashian. You don't have to be Beyonce. Like you can be the Beyonce of your business and of your life. And so by being yourself and telling your story, because your story can impact so many people, and especially if you are a business owner, it's there's a trickle down effect, and it trickles down to your children, it trickles down to your employees, it can trickle down to your customers. So when you are authentically you, people hear you, and when they hear you, they can feel you, they feel that energy, and that's what helps you to get out there. That's what helps people to really resonate with your message. And that's how you create whatever it is that you're trying to create in this world. And I don't really have like a framework per se. I go based on what the particular person needs. Some people need a little bit more hand holding, some people need a kick in the pants, and some people just need to be heard. And once you listen to the client who is afraid to do whatever it is that's stopping them, once you listen and they feel heard, then they feel empowered, and then they think, "Oh, I'm okay as me. I don't have to be someone else." And so that's how I help uh, to get that impact out there.
Wow, I so love your answer because when I started showing up online with video, I had the same thing. I was a little rebel. I'm like, listen, I understand all the frameworks, I understand the methodologies, I understand the experiences, and I love a good process because I think that is really a predictable way to give a specific result. But I love that you shared, and I figured out the same thing. I said, I'm just gonna just be me. This is how I speak. I am gonna forget that there's a video in front of me. I'm just gonna just say what I would say anyway around a certain topic or around something that I know well, or even if I don't know something well, I would just even jabble in the video. But those are the videos that got the most engagement because people can absolutely resonate with authenticity, and we could just see through that or feel through that. I think more than ever now. So there is no framework, just meeting people where you are and holding the space for them and helping them overcome some of those mindset blocks. And I'm sure, Jasmine, you have found out that the more they actually do it, the more they get, better at it. Just like any skill that we learn,
Yeah.
I think it's such an important piece. And women at that, cycle of life that you mentioned, absolutely, might have some of those things that might be holding them back because of the technology, all the different ways we can leverage video, comparison, which is so easy to do out there. Well, this someone else's video is very curated and edited, and my video is this or that, right? So, but just go back to basics, go back to the sharing of your message, and the right people absolutely resonate with that. So, thank you so much, Jasmine, for all this amazing work you're doing out there for women and empowering them with confidence and aligning their purpose with profit through video. Very powerful work.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it, and I like to tell people all the time when you're talking about, comparison is, you know, literally all you need is your phone and you can get started. Like you just need your phone to start. It doesn't take, thousands of dollars. And it's just you feel so much better once you do it. And like you said, it is a skill. You'll suck the first time. I've been on TV professionally since I was a child. I sucked the first time, but you do it and you just get better and better until you don't think about it. And like you said, the camera becomes a friend. I tell people, name the camera if you want. Give your camera a name. Say, "Hey Betty, I'm here and we're just having a conversation." And that's all you're doing is having a conversation. And I have videos where I stumble over words. I have a slight stutter, so I'll stumble over a word or I'll forget or lose my train of thought, and I just leave it that way. I could edit it and make it beautiful and perfect, but no one is perfect. And again, being me is how I impact other women to be themselves.
Yeah. And you decide what's your authentic brand anyway. Who's
Mhm.
to say that they got to be cleaned up? I do the same. I go live and whatever comes up will come up. Even if I make a mistake, hey, I'm human and
Yeah.
I'm putting myself out there. My intention is very clear and pure. And, the rest could just be whatever it is, right? Embracing all of that, I think, is very, very powerful. And it just frees you up from so much of the drama that we put ourselves through, especially as women, for sure. So, absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
My next amazing guest speaker is going to be Tracy Wilson. Tracy, thank you so much for coming on. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better here as well. Oh, Tracy, we have a problem with the audio. Cannot hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very, very excited and honored to be here. I am a coach who works with entrepreneurs who are making six figures in their business. And after 20 years of entrepreneurship myself, I understand that sometimes what gets you here can't get you there, right? Like you might have been grinding for the past 20 years to maintain that six figure, maybe even seven figures of income. And then you get to a place in your 40s or 50s where, your health starts to tell you that you've got to start paying attention to yourself. You've got to start doing things a little bit differently. You've got to start taking care of yourself a little bit differently. And it really causes a massive shift in how you see your business. And for some people, like myself, it might even cause you to question, like, should I just throw in the towel and go get a 9 to 5? Like, should I just totally take a left turn? Or should I, should I do something a bit different in my business? Maybe I need to invest money and hire someone. And all of these options sound really terrible, right? Like you just feel like I'm up against a wall and I don't like any of these options. So I basically, out of a need myself, I developed this whole energy audit framework where I now teach other entrepreneurs how to audit their energy. It's like 3 simple steps and really look at their calendar as an energy management tool, not a time management tool, right? This time management framework is a symptom of an employee mindset, which does not serve you in entrepreneurship, but we somehow get stuck in that. And then we wonder why we're exhausted every day, right? Like, well, I've been managing, right? My schedule is like perfect. And then you go, yeah, but I'm not paying any attention to the source of everything, which is energy. And so I teach people how to do this in my signature course called Time Freedom Accelerator. It's a 3-month accelerated course designed for six-figure entrepreneurs. Of course, there are other, people that fit that same profile, but it consists of, modules that are already in there. There's over like 25 hours of content. But the most significant piece is that in week 1, people send me messages like, you have blown my mind. My world has changed in week 1 because this is so simple. It's so simple, but it's such a radical shift from what we've been taught. So that's what I do. That's who I am.
Tracy, oh my gosh, I wrote that down. So I so agree. That is such an old mindset or old model, the way we track time and we do those to-do lists because that's what's been done for years. Yeah. We're living in a different world. I love that you called it an energy management, calendar or tool or whatever to help us kind of be more efficient with our time and focus on the most important priorities. So that is absolutely amazing. And I never heard of it that way before. So definitely something unique. So Tracy, based on your course or your framework, what are some of the fundamentals that you can share with us? If you were to give us a sneak peek of like, okay, here's like things that you can expect to learn. What can you share with us?
Yeah, of course. So the first thing that I have people do is just affirm that every hour, all 24 of them are yours on your calendar. And this sometimes is the most difficult hurdle for people to overcome because they start going, yeah, but I need to get the kids from school and I have to make dinner. Like, who's going to make dinner if I don't? Or, I can't not go to this meeting. This is a standing meeting I have, in order to run my business. And so getting people to really reclaim their time and really understand that all 24 hours are yours every single day. And you get to decide how you spend them completely without qualifiers, right? There's no qualification on that. And then getting them to really assess how their priorities align with their calendar, right? How are you spending your time actually? Is everything that you actually do within your day on your calendar? Or are there a bunch of things that you've just kind of internalized and you just do them, and they're not accounted for anywhere? So I get them to really assess that. And then they start auditing, right? Let's look at these things. What things take me the most energy? The thing that takes you 15 minutes might actually take you 5 energons, which is how I quantify energy. So even though it's only 15 minutes on your calendar, it might be exhausting. It might be a meeting that you just dread. And so it takes all of your energy just to get there and all of your energy to recover from it. So let's really start looking at how you're spending your time and whether or not it's aligned with the amount of energy. And then we adjust, right? We start making adjustments, right? Like this can come off, that could be delegated. I don't even need to actually pick up the kids every day. My husband drives right by there, or we could start a carpool or whatever it is. So just getting them to start thinking about aligning time with energy. And once you understand your energy, time management becomes a cinch. It's no longer a puzzle. It's no longer a matrix. You're just so clear on exactly where you need to be spending your energy and therefore how you need to spend your time.
Yeah. Well, this is beautiful work. And there's so much need for this, Tracy, like, especially in today's world. I find that, we need so many more people that are doing this work, because I find that what my clients do as they're growing their businesses, I almost have to help them at every phase and stage as more things increase to start building those foundational pieces in the business. I always let them know to take it one step at a time and work on the most important priorities and work on purpose rather than kind of just upload your calendar with so many different things and repeated tasks that are probably be recurring. And you'll find that you could do so much. Sometimes when I go back to my week, that I kind of work on the system that you're talking about, because some of these things are so familiar for me. So I love this work that you're doing. You go back and you're like, whoa, all these things that I'm doing now would overwhelm me like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. But just it takes that clarity and being so intentional with it and focusing on your energy. So true. And listening to our bodies as well, because sometimes we have the tendency to just go, and that's how we face burnout. Back to what Emily said at the beginning. So this is how it's so beautiful how all of these things and topics are connecting to each other. So thank you so much for all this amazing work you're doing out there in the world and for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Awesome. But beautiful. I have 2 next speakers left for our event today. I'm so excited to have them here today. And also, I really hope you're taking away nuggets and wisdom of information. Like I said, I'm just always mind blown, and I'm feeding myself with every time I do these events, because we have so many amazing people doing all this amazing work out there in the world. So moving on to my next beautiful speaker, Tina Kailea. Tina, welcome.
Welcome, everyone. May I just say how amazing this group is and listening to it. I'm coming to you from New Zealand, so I'm in the future. It's very early in the morning here. And to have conversations like this and be able to connect with people from all over the place is just a real blessing. And I resonated with so many things already said. And the courage it takes to actually take our story and putting it out there for the world to see and hear, that in itself is not for the faint of heart. And my journey started, I'm an immigrant to New Zealand. I moved from Germany 25 years ago, and I felt I had no voice because English is not my first language. And I did all the hiding and all the conscience. I really was afraid to go and speak because of my accent, and I thought everybody would just jump and look at it. And it took me quite a while to embody that this is me. And I show up sometimes in the morning when I go live in my bathrobe because it's life, it's me. And I have learned the hard way what it feels like when you are pretending to be someone else My story is one of burnout and breakdown in corporate, and it's media and advertising that I was in, manufacturing, very male-dominated industries. And somewhere along the lines, I forgot that I was a feminine being, a woman that does not function, being in a grind from 9 to 5. And sadly, it went to the point where my body literally didn't function anymore. I had anxiety, I had depression, I had adrenal fatigue. And sadly, I lost five babies in that process. I had several miscarriages. So in this vortex of having to take stock of where I ended up, I had to be honest with myself and look at the lifestyle that I chose with this stress and adrenaline and go, go, go all the time, that it wasn't serving me. And that was a hard one because it meant I had to share and speak about it. So my purpose started when I wanted to be a light for other women who are going through the same things, that they're not alone. So I helped women a lot with dealing with the grief and everything you go through physically, mentally, spiritually when you lose a child, when you miscarry a pregnancy. And when I started doing that, I felt that there was a safety missing of places where you can share these, and they're certainly not in the corporate world. So my mission led me to become a female embodiment coach, where I really want women to redefine what does it mean to be an entrepreneur, a woman, a mother, and a business owner, and a woman, because we dim parts of ourselves when we go out and pursue a career, depending on the industry, but I think it is everywhere. And we've been told to fit in, to make it work, and it really doesn't serve us. It didn't serve me. And my ultimate closing of that loop was writing my story down. And I agree with what was said before about writing down what you've gone through, not from a point of view of just capturing it, but making it be something different where you become more than just what you've gone through. And my biggest moment in my coaching career came when I read the first testimonial from a woman. And it still gets me really emotional because she said, I'm so grateful I found you because you speaking out about this and what you teach has changed my life. I'm a different person. I've never looked at these parts. And that's the fuel to go. And there's time zones, there's life gets busy. But at the core, it's coming from your heart, and you really want to make a difference in life by having women be all of themselves, embracing these things that got given to us, and see the power. So we can step out, we can speak up, be assertive, go for our dreams, our desires, and all those things without burning out and breaking down in these structures. So that's how I ended up on the path that I'm on.
Tina, I love that. Besides the story that I can resonate with so much with my accent as well, and how conscious we can become, that actually becomes our authentic brand, right? That's just the way we are, unique in the way that, even our flaws or things that we perceive as flaws might be, stuff that it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if it's your mission and purpose is to serve, that service or that, the channeling of that will absolutely come through on the other side. And my question for you, Tina, based on your journey and the work that you're doing, is around some of the pillars that you pretty much help women in your day-to-day work that you want to share with us today. What are some of those foundations that we need to know as we embody our femininity as women? And what are some things that besides confidence can help us stay in that power and find our own unique, authentic voice and kind of do more good in the world with it?
I think the biggest one where I always start with clients is that we go back right to those little girls who were told that they're too much, they're too big, and they need to go and put into a structure or conditioning. So as women, and I'm yet to meet somebody that can't resonate with it, is we have this deeply ingrained not being good enough. And that plays out in so many different ways in our life and then in our careers, because we constantly feel like we have to be something different to be accepted. We have to be bigger, better, thinner, longer hair. And social media and society in general does not help. I want a woman to draw the power from within. And we peel back in the work that I do with them on what were some of the earliest messages that you have received as a female being, where you recoiled in your shell and you decided it is not safe for me to step out and be fully seen. And for corporate women, the biggest thing I see that women often, they're in the same company, they have the same corner offices. They do not actually talk to each other, have a true connection, or even collaborate, because we've been pinned against one another to compete. And I refer to that as the sister wounding. And I'm sure a lot of the audience will have a example where there was that mean girl mentality, and we're not wanting to share because vulnerability, especially as a woman, is still seen as a big weakness. And we're too emotional, we're too bitchy, we're too this, we're too that. All of these traits have been pushed down, and we become these pressure cookers where we go into our business or go through life and work basically feeling like we have to put on a mask. That is so draining and so tiring. And eventually we come to the point where we start to snap. And unfortunately, it's the people closest to us that bear the brunt of how we've been living. And I also work with women to look at what are the triggers in your current lifestyle that pop up all the time that make you react a certain way, because our body and our reactions, they are the nuggets of, okay, there's something there, let's unpack that, let's unravel that. So it's a very deep work, but it goes into how you speak, and being completely in your voice, and really not caring what other people may think of you. And that takes time, and that is a beautiful way to get women to be more successful in their businesses, because we're not just having a pay gap and a gender gap, we have an assertiveness gap, because we are not actually voicing concerns, anger, grief, desires. What do we actually want as women? And I think we're coming into a beautiful paradigm in the new year. Someone said authenticity was the word for this year. I think in the new year, it is authentic collaborations where women really put the armor down and connect on a deep level, where it's not like what's in it for me, or I need to make this conversation about what I do. It's actually closing rank and locking arms and standing proud to go, we can do this together, because then we have a much greater impact.
Yeah, well, Tina, thank you so much for so beautifully articulating that. And yeah, just like Tracy saying, the comments surpassing your feminine side to fit into professional settings, so pervasive. Oh gosh, I think a lot of us can absolutely resonate with that. That's been my personal story too. And I was also attached very early on the label of a rebel child, because I just want to do my own thing. I want to learn from my own lessons. And a lot of those stories carried, right, as I grew older as well. So I love that you're doing this foundational work with women to kind of capture, those poison stories or poison thoughts that might be holding us back from our potential, and really the magical power that we get to put out there in the world. I really find that this is the time where we're all can shine and can grow amazing businesses while still nurturing our feminine side as well. And I think it's the biggest asset we have. We just never learned how to tap into it. So Tina, thank you so much for all this amazing work you're doing. And my last but not least speaker for today, she's a repeat actually in our event. So I'm so glad to see Mother Rima again. Mother Rima, welcome.
Hi, Elona. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to be a part of this conversation. Already learned so much and just excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love how you're also resonating with the audience. And I love also the work that you are doing from the last time you were here. So without further ado, can you share with us some of the most meaningful moments that led you to the work that you're doing today, as well as we have new audiences, new people listening. And also I would love for your message to be shared here today as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Madhurima. I'll say this because it's very easy to pronounce my name if you imagine it going like a wave. It's Madhurima. Madhurima. And I am a global stress management facilitator who loves to support multi passionate, ambitious dreamers manage their stress and prevent burnout so that they can do everything they want to do without their own selves holding them back. I'm on a mission to make stress management fun. And one of the reasons that I actually got started on this journey was very few people actually know this story, but essentially, I have been stressed out pretty much since I was a kid. I've gone through two major burnouts, and during the pandemic, I was facing health anxiety, and the fear mongering of the pandemic and health anxiety don't really go well together. Along with the midlife crisis I was having in my early 20s of what's my purpose here? What am I supposed to be doing? I think it was during this time spirituality was one of the biggest things that helped me ground myself. And the way that it grounded me was I was practicing a meditation one day. I was just sitting out in the sun and just asking, hey, what do I do? What's life all about? How do I go about this? And I got a response from, you name it, universe, source, God, whoever you want to believe in. I thought it was the universe, where the answer was very simple. It was, you are a story. And I was like, what? What do you even mean? And the universe responded, you are a story. I am an all knowing being. I know everything that's happening. And because I know everything that's happening, I don't know every single thing that's happening. And so I get bored. And one of the things that I would like you to do, if you're feeling bored as well, is go down to earth, live a life, live a story, and then come back and tell that story to me. So I'm giving time away from me just so that you can build a story and come back here. And when I realized that, I was like, well, if I'm going to be a story, I'm going to be a goddamn story, a blockbuster. Like, people should talk about me and should sing my praises after I share my story. It should be a blockbuster to remember. And that was one of the things that actually got me really excited, was how do I make my story amazing? And a lot of times it started off with me helping people reconnect to themselves, and then became a deeper story of involving burnout to the mix. And the more I studied about burnout, the more I realized that it was improper stress management over a long duration of time. So if I manage my stress regularly and properly, I do not burn out. And I started to come up with new cool concepts and strategies to help people manage their stress so that it's fun, right? It's an activity that you can do for the sake of doing the activity, and then stress management is a bonus. So yeah.
Love that, mother. I mean, you're even like the philosophical. That's my accent kicking in. The way that you just brought that up, right? Or even looking at or like thinking about things in life. I think it was really something different. I never heard of that before. Definitely food for thought. So, yeah, stress management, right? I think it really aligns with some of the work that Emily is doing. So, what is your unique approach to stress management that you could share with us? What are some of the things that you teach your clients that would help them in managing their stress and creating the results that they want in their personal lives and professional lives?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you so much for asking. I think I would like to talk about the triangle of awareness, right? Self awareness is huge when it comes to managing stress and preventing burnout. And the triangle of awareness essentially talks about what is something like, what are usually the triggers that trigger you to experience stress on a daily basis. Um, then we focus on what are the signs, how does our body talk about or show us that we are stressed. Sometimes it's hyperventilation, sometimes it's feeling on the edge. I might be snappy, I might be angry, I might feel like I can't breathe properly. So those are some of the signs that my body shows that, hey, Madhurima, psst, you're stressed, figure out why. And the third triangle of awareness is understanding what helps me get out of stress, right? So if you have a good idea of what stresses you out, how does your body respond to stress, and what is something that can help you get out of stress quickly, it's a great way to actually take a deeper dive and stop stress at the earliest, right? So um, we experience stress a lot of times, we ignore it till it becomes burnout, and then usually our body slowly but eventually comes back to normal. But if you want to stop stress at the peak, understanding what is, once again, the triangle of awareness. What are your signs? What are your triggers? How does relief work for you? Can help you stop it at the earliest moment. So, yeah.
Hmm. Okay, that's great. I love that. I just kind of connected that stress, unless it's managed or handled, it can, actually go into burnout. And I think that's what Emily handles there as well. So, yeah, thank you so much, Mother Rima. Beautiful work that you're doing out there in the world, and so much need for this work that you're doing as well. And thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
Well, beautiful. At this part of the event, we reached the end. I know I don't want to go because we can just go into conversation after conversation and quick Q&A after Q&A and really just stay here all day. But we have to respect everybody's time. We're at the end of the event, and I usually in this specific piece or part of the event, I will ask all my speakers to come back onto the stage. And I have only one question for each one of you, and just it's a fill in the blank. So whatever comes up, I'm always very intuitive, even with my messages. So just if you can answer what inspires me is, and then also if you have any gifts that you like to share with our community, you're more than welcome to share. So, or if not, you can share where is it that the audience can further connect with you. So I'll go back to Marcy.
Yeah, what inspires me actually is that I live with my grandchildren, and I see my 6-year-old granddaughter, and I think I want to change the trajectory that she has so that she doesn't live the kind of experiences we all have had as women. I start at a much older level, but I can live that message today, every day, by helping her hear and trust her own voice and experience so that she's empowered from the age of 5 on. That's inspiring. We are the ripple effect with everybody we talk to and interact with. So that's what better way to keep us motivated than to think about the lives of the children becoming adults.
Oh, I love that. That's our legacy. I love that message for sure. So love it. And where is it, Marcy, that the audience can connect with you further? Or do you have any gifts you'd like to share with us?
Yes, absolutely. You can go to marcymcdonald.com, my website, and learn more about things you can do. There's a free gift on that very first page, which is 7 steps to silence your inner critic, which is a lot of what we're talking about, right? How do you shut that voice up so that you can do the things you're meant to do? But also, I've opened a few spots up. I don't normally do this, just for our audience today, and it's only going to be for a few days. But if you go to bookacallwithmarcy.com, no HTTPS or anything, just bookacallwithmarcy.com. I have a few spots open for a breakthrough call to shine a spotlight on what's holding you back and keeping you down that we can pop through so that you can start as soon as we have that conversation, holding on to that brilliant light that is yours. Bookacallwithmarcy.com. Thank you.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Marcy. I will include all the links for everyone and tag everyone so you'll get easy access to our speakers today. Beautiful. My next speaker up is going to be Emily. What inspires me is, and then just send the audience wherever you would like to continue the conversation, Emily.
So what inspires me is guiding others to live their definition of quality of life, because in my healthcare world, in that Western healing, and I've worked with many people at the end of their lives, none of them say, man, I'm really glad I worked all those extra hours at work. You don't hear that. You hear their regrets. Like, I wish I would have spent more time with my kids. I wish I would have taken that trip. I wish I would have gotten into my hobby more or spent more time on that. And so that's what I really love, is guiding people to their definition of quality of life, because everybody is different, and giving them the permission to live it. And that's what I really love to see and want to see more of in this world.
Beautiful. And where is it that the audience can connect with you?
You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and now LinkedIn. I'm Abundant Wellness with Emily on all of those. Or you can also find me online at abundantwellnesswithemily.com/home. There's also a free gift for the audience too there as well. It's my 3 steps to create everyday ease in 15 minutes or less, because that's all it really has to take is 15 minutes or less to improve your quality of life.
Thank you so much. Great value add. Jose.
Well, thank you. What inspired me, as I said, now today I'm really connected to my spirituality, and I really found like a call. What I'm doing today, I really believe that was a call, and now that I feel that I'm helping others, I really are passionate in this. And as I said, I also had my advocacy for the hostage community that that keep me being unstoppable on that too. So these are my two things today: is continue spreading my message and helping others, and putting my expertise in helping others. That really I found my purpose in that. So that's what really inspires me. Where you can find me? Well, I have my webpage. It's Jose Connect. Very easy. JoseConnect.com. I have a link tree too. I'm very active in LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn, I'm very active. Today I do audio events. I do master classes, and I'm all over the place. And in my free gifts, I'm offering a free coaching session, the 30 minutes coaching session. Anybody who want to contact me in my webpage or in my LinkedIn or in my Facebook, there you will find the calendar there and contact me. And by the way, because I also promoted my book, I also have a promotion for my book. So I'm in the pre-order stage. It's in a page called Publicizer. I'm offering there the person that pre-ordered my book this coaching session, and I did two master classes that I'm going to be offering to. I did a master class on how to become a leader in your life, in your business, because I'm a leadership coach, and how you can begin your business, because I really had that expertise that I put it there. So I'm doing those two master classes that I have recorded. I'm going to give it as a free gift. That's what I can offer you.
Thank you so much, Jose, and thank you so much for the value add. Jasmine is next.
What inspires me is hearing the stories of women who take the coaching and see results, even in as little as 5 days. I had one lady who just her homework, she posted her homework on her business page and she got a sale just like that. She had a new rep in her company. And so that one rep can change her life, change her family's life. So that inspires me, is seeing those stories and hearing uh, these women who are going to do great things. So,
Love that. And do you have a free gift or any other way
yes,
to connect
yeah.
with you?
If you go to fearnovideo.com, there is an ebook that you can download. It's the 10 ways to leverage video content. So you have a lot of actionable tips that you can take. And also, if you go to meetwithjasmine.com, you can connect with me and we can talk one on one over Zoom about what's holding you back and how we can get you visible and get you paid.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jasmine. And Tina is next. Hi, Tina.
Hello. What inspires me is women who have the courage to go deep into their subconscious and change the way they operate in life and to really redefine their narrative. And the transformations are really mind blowing when they do. And they have a safe space to really peel back those layers. And that touches me every time it happens. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on fempreneurpathfinder.com and on Instagram at @the_fempreneur. And I'm on LinkedIn with Tina K. Kailea. I have a beautiful mindset magic guide that you can download for free on my website. And I have written a book about my story that's available on Amazon. There's a link called Corporate Rewilding, A Wild Woman's Guide to Reclaiming Your Feminine Power, that goes a little deeper into how you can change your trajectory and really have that zazazoo back in your life and in your business. And I hope to connect with you all.
Thank you so much. Tracy.
Yes. So much like what others have said, just seeing the transformation is what inspires me. Just seeing people go from completely deflated and on the brink of giving up on their dream to reclaiming their own power and really understanding how to wield it in a way that gives them sustainable balance, right? So that is what inspires me every day. I think the transformation that people go through is really, really impactful. And I love being a vehicle for that. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Tracy D. Will. That's TRACY, no E, D, and then WIL. And if you DM me the word energy, I will send you a free gift and a coupon code that I've created just for your viewers, and would love to have anyone who's interested join.
All right. Thank you so much, Tracy. And Madhurima.
Yeah, I loved everyone's answers. Oh my gosh, I love everyone here. But what inspires me is a dream of mine where 5 years down the line, I want to potentially create an eco village here in India, where the entire intention is going to be slowing down, living a sustainable life, and living together with the community. In that dream, I do have a vision of ensuring that, a lot of times people are like, oh, I am happy today, like it's a rare occurrence. In that vision, I would like it like, oh, I'm stressed today. After a really long time, I'm experiencing stress today. I want to create an environment where stress becomes a rarity for people to experience. So that is something that I get inspired about. Yeah. And where you can find me is you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Right now I am shooting this across Facebook and LinkedIn, so everyone who's watching this live can reach out to me over there. You can also find me on YouTube. Just write down my name, Madhurima Sapati, and you'll find me. I'm pretty active. And a great thing that I would love to give you guys is, one, a checklist to manage stress. If you are a multi-passionate individual who often gets um, intrigued by multiple things happening, shiny object syndrome was made for people like you, people like me. I have a checklist to manage your stress as a multi-passionate and ambitious person. And I am also offering a free 30-minute strategy session if you are experiencing stress with the year coming to an end in 3 weeks. We'll figure out what stress looks like. We'll focus on that very first triangle of awareness, which is what is stressing you out, to better able to help you on this journey. So yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much to all my amazing speakers for their time, wisdom, expertise, story sharing, all the amazing work that they're doing out there in the world. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will actually see you another time with another event. We also have a way for you to join our community as a community expert. So I will play more details in the video after the event. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day.
I would invite you to join us as the community expert at the Life School Global Community. As a community expert, you will be participating in our monthly speaking events that we host for our community. You'll be an ongoing contributor to our global magazine. You will be warmly connected and introduced to other purpose driven CEOs and entrepreneurs. You'll also be connected to amazing speaking opportunities, paid and also free speaking opportunities with other amazing communities. And this way, you'll increase your brand and visibility. You will build trust faster. But most importantly, you'll be part of our community that's always growing in over 30,000 entrepreneurs on our social media channels and also on our large contact list and network, and also with our partnering high level communities of entrepreneurs and business leaders. I would like you to go right underneath the website on this video at Elona Lopari Coaching /events to find out more information on what this offer entails, and also if this is the right fit for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side as our community member.